Yo ho ho, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? Just thought I'd check in, do a little live, see what's going on with everybody here, answer any questions you might have. There's been a lot of things going on in the industry. For example, the whole Instagram coaching thing has gone up in the air. I did the video on that, what's her name? Dawn or something? I forgot her name. Yeah, I definitely forgot her name. But nonetheless, a lot of things going on with the industry in general. So I just wanted to get out there, answer any questions, anything you have on diet, training, supplementation, coaching. I coach youth athletes, if you guys know. Anything you want to know on movement, on pillar prep, on movement prep, on injuries, on rehab, on prehab, on muscle growth, you name it, and I will do my best to answer it. My job here, in my opinion, is to represent. If you have any questions on supplements, if you have any questions on the new Outright bars, I will answer those. This is a new almond butter chocolate chip that's out. Right now, we only have a very limited stock. We just got more of these camo hoodies at tigerfitness.com. Those are in right now. Those will go fast. So my thing is, it's not about me. I don't need to hear myself speak. I got 15 minutes before I have to start getting ready for my my practice at Campton, the soccer club I coach at. And I figured I'd spend it with you guys. I have a lot of work going on, but I'm going to stay up a little bit late and get it done. Today was a sparring day in boxing. I have a little bloody lip there because I got punched in my face. Because if you guys have seen my boxing videos, I'm not exactly very good. So nonetheless, let's rock and roll, guys. I'm done talking, bro, but I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in closer so I can scroll, okay, guys? So if you see up my nose, that's not my bad. Okay, the machine. What's up, John? Thoughts on DTP training? I don't know enough about it to comment. However, I do have my own training system, which is called the Big 5 training program. If you type in Big 5 Lobliner on Google or whatever on Google, it'll take you to Tiger Fitness. Big 5 Lobliner, and it's my opinion, is the best training system ever devised. I don't like commenting on other training systems because I'm biased because I designed my own. So I encourage you to look at the write-up of both training systems and see which one best fits your goals and your beliefs. I remember you telling a story where you had a client go on almost keto for a few weeks. What was the reason? Now, I have no scientific basis for this whatsoever, but I find if a client or a person who's on a diet is at a stick point and we have their calories low, dangerously low. When I say dangerous, I don't mean like they're gonna die, but too low for my liking. You know what I mean? Like let's say you have a male on 1,200 calories. What I like to do is switch to keto for about 6 weeks. I find that keto is a good short-term diet. And what I've found is when you reintroduce carbs back into the diet, they resume their fat loss. It doesn't work all the time. However, that's why you cannot cookie cutter things because, well, you never know what's going to work with certain individuals. Everybody is different. So again, I have no scientific data for why it works, but sometimes with some individuals, it does work. What kind of stretching you do before lifting? Very good question. I don't do static stretching. Static stretching, in my opinion, will hinder your strength gains, will hinder your performance. What I like to do is something called ballistic stretching, and I like to do things like the world's greatest stretch. Type in world's greatest stretch Lobliner on the YouTube search engine, you'll get it. I like to do a lot of mini band work. Before every training session, I do mini bands. I do lateral mini bands for 3 sets of 8 each way. I do linear mini bands. I do external rotations, and I sometimes do around the worlds where you go back, side, here for hip warm-up, hip mobility. Also, it activates your glutes, and that also will prevent valgus of the knee when you're doing squats or deadlifts or things like that. And also, as you get older, a lot of guys I know who've lifted heavy throughout their life, they end up getting hip problems as they get older. So being that I am aging, I am very cognizant of my hip health. Can you take drop factor with Clash? No. That's a lot of fucking caffeine. That's over 500 milligrams of caffeine. If you wish to take a fat burner like drop factor and take your pre-workout, what I recommend you do is, let's say you train at 5 p.m. Take your drop factor at 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. or 12, somewhere in there. Then take your Clash or your pre-workout before training. Now, if you train in the morning, take your Clash pre-workout in the morning, wait 4 hours, basically space them out by about 5 hours apiece. How do you feel about hemp oils? I have a product called from one of my brands, Per Vitam, called Hemp Daily. I'm a huge fan of Hemp Daily. Tips on loosening up a tight psoas and how to self-set hips. You know, Jason, I have a great movement for that. Requires laying on your back, and you get a kettlebell, right? And the bell end of the kettlebell, the actual open end, the handle of the kettlebell, you take the corner of it and you put it over your psoas and you kind of push it into it. Now, I would have to demonstrate. I can't do it on here, but I like to loosen up a tight psoas with active release techniques utilizing the back end of a kettlebell. Any chance of coming out with a nut-free bar? You can't really. This is a nut-based bar. So we tried it with sun butter and it tasted like absolute shit. And a lot of people are allergic to nuts, are also allergic to seeds. The texture wasn't right. So if you have a nut allergy, the outright bar is not for you, at least at this present time. Top recommended posterior chain exercises. Anything that places load on it. I really like, obviously, hex bar deadlifts. You guys know that. And I like working unilateral posterior chain movements. Single leg Romanian deadlift is my favorite. Posterior chain is basically working that backside of your body. So anytime you can generate load on that posterior chain, hex bar deadlifts, or more of a flexibility exercise, the single leg Romanian deadlift is absolutely fucking amazing. Having shoulder surgery number 2 next week. What advice give me to help preserve muscle and not get fluffy? Honestly, don't try to diet because you're gonna need extra calories. Your metabolic rate will be higher if you... Your metabolic rate will be higher when you're recovering because your body needs those calories to help with recovery. And also, you're having shoulder surgery. Sit in a fucking leg press and go to town, bro. Like when I had my abdominal surgery, I was doing, I don't like them as an exercise, but I was doing leg extensions and leg curls till the fucking cows came home. Why don't you like SARMs? It's not that I don't like SARMs, it's that they're not for human consumption, meaning that I don't trust their manufacturing process. I don't trust their quality, and I don't trust the companies that make them. So at the end of the day, it says on SARMs, it says not for human consumption. That means there is no oversight, there's no regulation on how they're being manufactured. And also a lot of the studies on SARMs are using 2 to 3 milligrams, whereas a lot of these unscrupulous character companies are recommending 30 to 40 milligrams, which I think is preposterous. We have no idea what it does. And also there will be suppression when you're on SARMs. Thoughts on HCG during cycle. I'm not a big fan of cycling, but I do use HCG on my HRT. And I have found, I can't really tell much of a difference, but I do look and feel the best I've ever looked and felt, in my opinion. And I noticed my libido is higher, which is unfortunate for my wife. How'd you start a mini cut? I don't like mini cuts. I like either dieting or I like either dieting to get into shape, or I like bulking. I'm not the guy to ask about mini cuts because I don't believe in them, and I'm going to give you an answer that's going to piss you off because I don't like them. And then you're going to argue with me why I don't like them. What I'd rather do is I'd rather you find somebody who likes mini cuts and ask them that question. I'd love to answer it. But the bottom line is I don't feel like people can usually drop enough fat during mini cuts. But I do like... I like having a 4-to-1 bulk for most, bulk to cut ratio, because you gain, in my opinion, at 1 to 2 pounds a month, where you can lose fat at 1 to 2 pounds a week. So it takes you a lot longer to gain quality than to lose fat. If I want to make a career out of it, other than 10 years training myself, I have no experience. What can I do as far as education and certification? I have no idea what was pertaining to Slim Nubster. I apologize. I know you don't track macros anymore. What's your favorite go-to unhealthy free meal? I don't consider any of my meals unhealthy. I just consider them to be food, and food I enjoy. I highly, I would say I love hamburgers, man. I really like hamburgers. You go to the Arnold Classic. Yes, I posted on my Instagram. If you're not subscribed to me or follow me on Instagram, it's at Marc Lobliner. That's at Marc Lobliner on Instagram. I posted, we will be there. I believe it's booth 2315, and it's going to be a great time. We're going to be sampling out outright bars, machine fuel, and machine whey. Wanting to start playing flag football with my friends, I normally do hypertrophy training. Any tips on help me be able to become more physically competitive? Well, for explosive and endurance, it's a lot. I mean, I wish I could put an entire training session that I do with the kids over at Campton United because I feel it would help you dramatically, but it would be really tough to get that entire thing up. And it depends on you and your programming. For example, if you're deficient in absolute speed or you're deficient in acceleration, your programming would be different than someone who's deficient in multi-directional movement or strength. So my opinion is just do more functional stuff. Add in mini bands, add in mini hurdles, add in things that require you to balance on one leg, and I think that'll get you in a good spot. What up, Mark? I'm one of your affiliates. I've seen you mention Netflix shows or something. Watch some shows. Actually, a series regular, a new show. Oh, awesome. Good stuff, Jordan. I'm about to have rotator cuff surgery and figure what's the best time to train lower body. That's the best time to train lower body. What exercises and supplements would you recommend that will not activate my shoulder? Honestly, you'll be able to tell me more than I'll be able to tell you, because if it hurts your shoulder, don't do it. Basically, anything where you're sitting down and not having to utilize your shoulders. So I'd imagine a leg press, you'd have to go light because you can't really hold yourself down. Leg extension, leg curl, again, you'll have to go light. Body weight squats, pistol squats, Bulgarian split squats, lunges. I go on for days. You can look it up or add to your list on Netflix. I will. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram what it is, and I'll go ahead and add it, because I must have missed it. If you're able to train with anyone that you haven't yet, who would it be? Nobody. Honestly, I think it would come down to an athlete. I'd like to train. I wouldn't mind just getting some tips and bag work with Tyson. I think that'd be amazing to actually sit, just watch him hit bags and try and do what he does, because I box twice a week, and I know I'm not very good at it. You guys are sure to tell me about it in my comment sections every time you can. But I really enjoy boxing. It's a passion of mine. I'm not very good at it, and that's why I become passionate. No bodybuilders. I think bodybuilders train like pussies compared to real athletes. And that's no knock against bodybuilders, but bodybuilding, you know, you're not using movement. You're not using function. I would love to train with James Harrison of the Pittsburgh, well, New England Patriots, but formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's an absolute beast in training. Basically, I like training with athletes. You know, Mark, I know you work out from home, but I just wonder if you checked out the basement gym. And no, I have not. I have not, and I have no plans on it. They don't carry my supplements, and they've brought in other supplements, even though the owner knows me. And let's just say that I'm not too happy with it. So I'd rather just not go somewhere where I'm not welcome, even though I have the best-selling bar in the, from what I can tell, the hottest trending bar in the country right now. So all I do is I direct people, instead of going there, to head over to GNC Batavia. That's just messed up. They know where to order the products, and one of the owners used to be an affiliate of ours, but I don't understand. But I'm not here to bring up old stuff. And if they see this, I have no hard feelings, but I don't understand, because obviously this is my area and people want it. But, I usually don't support those who don't support me. But I do recommend you go to Brick House in Wheaton. Brick House is an amazing gym, and they carry all our supplements. And Pro Boxing Fitness has the outright bars as well in Elgin, Illinois. I'll add to the SARMs question. After meeting with hanging with Tony Hughes, have you views on research chemicals? Not at all. Tony as a person and Tony as a business person are two different things. And also remember that Enhanced Athlete just got indicted and found guilty in another country for selling DNP. Can I use machine greens on keto? I don't believe it'll have any issues. No, it's not going to knock you out of ketosis. Have you had any experience with tennis elbow? My elbows are fucked. It's just part of lifting heavy-ass weights. I know I've gotten razzed, whatever you want to say for saying that. But, dude, if you're lifting heavy weights and you're overloading, you're going to have some joint pain here and there. I'd like to know more about how to start my exercise, but they hate sports. I can't help you here, and here's why. Because you need to know, it took me probably over $100,000 and probably over 10 years of education to have the knowledge I have to train children. So I can't help you here because I just don't have enough time. But again, if you're in the St. Charles area, and your kids want to sign up, we have some great summer camps over at Campton United, and I would absolutely love to have them there. And it's open to everybody, not just our club. If you are in St. Charles, Illinois, we have a great summer camp. I'm putting on a great SAQ camp, a great speed, agility, quickness camp, which will also include strength. It'll be 90-minute sessions, and it'll be 4 days, 4 90-minute sessions. And it's going to be $125. It's a very, very good deal for all that work. Hi there, Mark. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Mark, say you turned into a poor 22-year-old tomorrow. How would you go about starting a business, becoming successful? I would, if I was a poor 22-year-old, I would get a job. working for someone else, I would probably get 2 jobs, save up money, and build up the acumen it required to own my own business, because I know that 94% of businesses fail. IF works, roid face. Fledge Fitness will tell you. Roid face. What about this face says roids? Is it the fact that I haven't shaved all week? The fact that I need a haircut? Or the fact that I look better than you? Bottom line is, bro, intermittent fasting, I never said it didn't work. I said it has no advantages over any other eating plan. If you would actually listen to my videos and not just read my clickbaity titles, I guess that's my fault. But if nobody watches the video, it never really happened. I look 10 times better during maintenance and eating when I'm hungry than now when I'm starving during prep. I compete in men's physique. I'm wondering if the hunger is even worth it. I think I've stated my thoughts on competing. It's usually a very bad decision for most people who do it. What is up, Robert Shanetsky? How you doing, bro? Will there ever be outright bars in stores near Western Kentucky? There probably are. I just don't know where they are. Here's how you do it. You walk into the store. You say, hey, I would like these outright bars. And they'll order them. And they get it from Muscle Foods USA, which is the best distributor in the sport nutrition industry. So here's another thing. You can also order online. And that's the beauty of the internet. It shows up at your doorstep, and it's on Amazon, it's on Tiger Fitness, it's on a lot of sites. When you're coming out with new clothing, you mean like this hoodie that's available right now in limited supply? Is it true that something has had... I don't know. I don't know if that'll make you fail a drug test. What do you think about home do-it-yourself cool sculpting? I think it's, for lack of better terms, I think it's absolutely stupid. Do you take steroids? I am on hormone replacement therapy prescribed by my doctor. I've actually done a video where I've showed my prescriptions. And I'm not lying. I've done videos on it. And also, what am I lying about? Man, you are an angry dude. Your products are awesome. MTS for life. Thank you. Is bodybuilding a sport or more of a pageant show? I think bodybuilding is a sport, but I wouldn't classify it as a sport like football or basketball. It's more of a pageant in the way it's drugs. Don't you know that we know you use steroids? I hope you know that I use steroids because I've done videos on it. And if the tens of thousands of people who watch those videos don't know that, that means that I'm not speaking in a language they understand, and perhaps I should use the subtitle feature on YouTube. Is overtraining an issue when trying to recover from cuff work? I don't think you're going to hit overtraining, but if you do overuse that area, it's going to have trouble recovering. I was referring to becoming a trainer of athletes. So I have no clue what the question was. Maybe you hit me on the DM. Do you think you can outbench Pitbull, a strength cartel? I only go up to like 350, 360 on bench press. So if you're using him as an example of how much people bench, probably not. He has prescribed TRT. He's never hidden that. Why is everyone so concerned if people take that steroids? I don't know, man. I mean, ways to improve my deadlift other than progressive overload. Well, that's pretty much how you improve your deadlift because you need to overload it more. Let me see if there's one more question because I got to go. I got to go coach. Guys, I apologize for that. When you come back to work out at Brickhouse Fitness, I have no time. My schedule is crazy with the coaching. I apologize for that. Are you still taking the B12 shot? I am not. I hate injections. I really do. You said you're on HRH, Mr. Lobliner. Isn't that not steroids? However, I might... No, I'm on testosterone. I'm on testosterone. I'm on HCG. I'm on MK677, and I take an anastrozole, all prescribed, and I take Armour Thyroid. That's what I take. And TRT is technically steroids, absolutely. Which natural aromatase inhibitors? I like Tyrant. All right. Mark, if you were to die and God lets you relive 1 year of your life, which year would you pick? I'd live right now because I love my life. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.